So I've been running this YouTube channel for a year now. Want to find out what I've learned so far? Hi folks, I'm Mark, welcome back to the channel, and it's just been over 12 months since I started posting regular videos here, so I thought it was a good opportunity to stop, reflect, look at what we've learned so far. Maybe you're just starting out as a YouTube creator and looking to pick up some tips, or maybe you're an established YouTuber and you want to give me some advice. Either way, bring it on. I can use all the help I can get. So we'll be recapping on some of the goals that I set for myself when I started all of this. I'll show you some of the stats from my YouTube analytics, some surprises, some regret, and also some sneaky peeks at what's coming next in the next year of this channel. So starting with goals, I am of the philosophy that it is really helpful to set yourself some goals. Even if you change them, move them, or end up ignoring them entirely, it's a good way of focusing in your efforts when important decisions need to be made. And I do this in all aspects of my life, my personal life, my day job running a psychometrics business, and also definitely for this YouTube channel. So as an example of how this can be helpful, if I'm thinking about posting on a particular theme or topic, I can ask myself, does that video help me work towards any of these goals? So looking back, here's what I came up with as my big goals as I started this journey as a YouTube creator, and I'm happy to report I've hit 3 out of 2 of them. Let's take a look. So first up was 4,000 hours in views. Now I ended up hitting this mega early in my YouTube journey as one of my early videos ended up getting stacks of views. I was expecting this goal to take quite a lot of time, but I ended up making this super geeky video on keyboard comparisons, and it just took off. So the secret here was I was actually searching for this particular YouTube video, this particular comparison to help me make a choice about which product to buy, and I couldn't find it. So I ended up buying both products, reviewing them, comparing them, and making the video that I would have wanted to see. So there's a lesson here, scratch your own itch, especially if no one else has done it yet. And even if someone else has done it, make it anyway, because there's a chance you're going to take a different view, a different angle, different perspective, and a different unique voice. My next goal was to generate a paid brand deal that aligns with some of the themes of my channel. And again, I also accomplished this quite quickly, and there have been several more since. So in fact, after I approached some brands directly, at the start of things, we've now got to the stage where people are approaching me to collaborate and partner on a number of different videos, which is amazing. So far I've done some deals with the likes of Sandmark, AEG, Harbour London, and also Bouge-RV, as well as a few others. And without getting into details of the commercial arrangements, in general I receive affiliate revenue for promoting and reviewing items for brands and products that, to be honest, I already love. And in most cases I also get to keep the product afterwards, which is great. Now in my case, I was able to do this by demonstrating to these brands that my channel, whilst relatively small in terms of subscribers, was generating lots of monthly views, particularly on the themes that they were interested in. So again, a lesson here, you don't have to have mega numbers of subscribers to start working with affiliate revenue. It's also important to note that I have turned down a number of offers to collaborate. And the reason I've said no to these is because they were either products I wasn't familiar with, or they weren't particularly aligned to the themes of my channel, psychology, tech, and productivity. From the perspective of integrity, it's really important to set some boundaries very early on about what you're happy saying yes or no to, so that when the decision comes, it makes it nice and easy to do so. And so on to my final goal. I wanted to gain 1,000 YouTube subscribers. Now, of course, this is a really important number in the context of YouTube creators, because once you pass 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours, you can monetize your channel and earn a little bit of kickback revenue in AdSense from those little adverts that you see at the beginning and the end, sometimes in the middle of videos too. And this is the one that I'm not quite there with yet. Now, a couple of my videos have generated huge numbers of subscribers by themselves, but in general, I found it's been pretty slow going. Now, YouTube analytics tell me that most of my videos are watched by people who don't subscribe, but I can often recognize familiar names commenting on videos, and that's really encouraging to me. I'd rather have a small, authentic community of subscribers rather than rapid growth that I can't keep a handle on. One of the things that I'm really proud about is that I get to personally reply to messages and comments and feedback that's left under the reviews, and I hope that I can continue to do that for a long time. So as you can tell, I'm actually pretty cool about not hitting this goal within a year. I think it's quite easy to get hung up on things like subscriber numbers and analytics. And I think as a creator, these kind of metrics can really take you away from the original purpose of doing something like this, which is, in my case, to have fun and enjoy it. Some of the videos that I've been most proud of, that I've absolutely slaved over, have done really poorly in terms of reviews, but you know what? I don't care, because I loved the process of making them. So in terms of surprises, I mean, the fact that I'm still here after 12 months in itself is a bit of a surprise, but there's a few things I wanted to focus on here. First up, YouTube analytics. So this is such a helpful feature as a creator, and you can get some really serious granular details of what's going on your channel. So for example, for every video I get to see what search terms people use to find it, what demographic the audience is, and even what device they chose to watch the video on. Yeah, I've tried really hard not to get too obsessive over this, but it's so interesting for a stats geek like me that I do end up coming back to them to see if anything's changed or if a particular video has got different results to some of the others. So secondly, comments and community. I've been really lucky to find that the comments on the channel as a whole have been broadly positive, really encouraging and welcoming, and I've had the occasional weird one as well. So for example, I had this exchange with a commenter on one of my videos where they openly challenged me as to why I was asking for somebody to hit subscribe at the end of the video. This is what they wrote. So my initial reaction to this was to bite back and kind of think, well, yeah, of course, are you an idiot? Yeah, of course, let people to subscribe. But then I thought about it and I thought, well, maybe it would be nice to turn it into a conversation. I genuinely wanted to know what was behind that question. And it also made me think too. So, you know, when I started out doing this, the goal was not to make YouTube my primary source of income, far from it. But I did need the learning. So I've given myself this 1-year crash course in video editing and lighting and sound design and copywriting. And it's been such a valuable experience to be able to do that in a safe and supportive environment like a small growing YouTube channel. But then also, I've had some side hustles in the past. Most notably, I used to work as a musician, and it never fails to amaze me by how some people just expect to sit back and consume content without ever acknowledging how much goes into producing that content and bringing it to the consumer. So, you know, yeah, I've got a lot out of this channel personally over the last year, but I've also put a lot in. I bought better equipment, I've learned some new techniques, I've bought all kinds of Final Cut templates that I work with, and of course the biggest investment is my most valuable resource, my time. And it's fair to say that if this was a business, for the first year I'd be operating at a pretty heavy loss, taking all of that into account. So I think it's fair to expect that if you have an opportunity to be paid for something that you would otherwise do for free, as a creator, you have the right to make that choice. So on to regrets. Now, this may surprise you, but I have very few regrets in life in general, but particularly with this YouTube channel. Okay, just pause the video there. I've got a confession. There was, in fact, a totally different version of this video, which involved me walking around in a bunch of different locations, talking about my first year as a YouTuber. And as you can see, it was a beautiful sunny day, but when I got the footage back to edit, I found that my microphone wasn't connected properly, and I had to film the whole thing again. So yeah, that's a pretty big regret. Okay, back to the video. I can look back at that very first video that I posted and cringe at my vlogging style and my editing style, but I also know how much I've learned since then. I had to make that video in order to get to this state. And I know that in a year's time, I'll be as good again. That's how this works. And that really excites me. Having said that, if you had to twist my arm, there are maybe 1 or 2 things that I would do differently. The first one is a really detailed one. So this is about getting all of my links and sites and branding for the video descriptions in some sort of order, so that they were consistent right from the start. So I probably lost a good number of hours of my life going back, changing things, realizing that certain links weren't working, or making sure they were all in the That Mark Gilroy brand set, and then having to go back and check and edit every video in a playlist. It really has taken me a long time to get all of those in order. Yeah, that really crushed my soul, that kind of work. And the second one is purely that I didn't start earlier. I really have tried hard to keep up with posting regularly. And for me, regularly means once every 2 weeks. If I'm super busy, then maybe once a month. And when I have been able to post more regularly, I've noticed that it really does have a very positive effect on my subscriber count, my likes and views as well. But you know, this isn't my regular job. You know, I've got a very demanding day job and a young family, friends, and a small social life that rightly has to take priority over all of this. For me, that's about making sure that I balance out my psychological health and get what I need out of life. So on to what's next. Now, I recently had a review of my channel with Nika from Nika New City. She ran a full audit of my channel and gave me some really interesting tips on how I can improve things. Now, I learned loads in a really short call with her, including getting some YouTube shorts up, making my playlist more visible, and also how to improve my thumbnail game. Anyway, if you're creating any kind of social content and want some help and advice, Nika has very kindly offered to give my audience a discount on some of her services. 10 out of 10, would absolutely recommend you getting in touch with her, just to level up your creator game. And if you want to access that discount, all the details are in the description below. In terms of what else is next, I'm going to be upgrading my setup over the next few weeks, so you will see a bit of a jump up in terms of video quality. I'm going to be going into 4K. Oh, and actually, hot off the press, my new camera has arrived, so we'll be unboxing that and trying that out for an upcoming video soon. Stay tuned. I've also been upgrading my audio. You might see just down below I've moved from a shotgun microphone on camera to a wireless mic. Hopefully that will mean I don't need to sit so close to the camera in order to be heard. And then in terms of content, I am aware that I've lent quite heavily into the tech and productivity side of my channel themes and really have left psychology behind a little bit. I'm gonna hopefully balance that out a bit over the next 12 months and just produce more psychology content. So this might be some book reviews, book summaries, and also sharing some help from models and frameworks that I use in my practice that you might find helpful too. So folks, thank you first of all for making it to the end of this video and on this 12-month journey with me. If you are here, drop a comment below with the words 12 months in so that I know that you heard this bit. And if you're a subscriber and you've been on this journey with me for any length of time, thank you very much. My vision here is to build a warm, generous, welcoming community of like-minded geeks like me. And if that sounds like you, come on in. And do you know what? If that doesn't sound like you, that's fine too. If you're curious, hit the subscribe button, jump in, post some comments, ask some questions. I'm all for diversity here. So you know the drill by now. If you found this helpful in any way, do hit the like button. It does help the channel out. And if you're not already subscribed, you can help me on my cheeky way towards 1,000 subscribers and hopefully beyond. I'll see you next time.